You thought Landman Season 2 left Tommy in control, that the dust had settled, and that freedom finally belonged to him. But Season 3 proves that freedom is just another battlefield. The world around Tommy hasn't paused. Galino's reach is longer than ever. Cammy's moves are sharper and colder, and Cooper's instinct for oil might just ignite the spark that burns everything down. This isn't just about power anymore, it's about survival. Every handshake, every deal, every choice carries consequences that no one could predict, and the chaos is only beginning. Season 3 isn't waiting, it's ready to strike. Season 3 opens with Tommy standing at the edge of everything he's fought to build. CTT oil exploration and cattle seems like a fortress, but the cracks are already visible. Tommy thought walking away from MTEX and building something new would bring stability. But stability is a lie in a world where ambition and betrayal run deeper than loyalty. Galino's $18 million check wasn't a gift, it was a test, a silent warning, a claim staked not just on the land, but on Tommy himself. Cammy, patient and calculating, is already making her moves. Her silence in Fort Worth wasn't surrender, it was observation, study, and preparation. She knows the game isn't over, and neither is her hunger for control. Cooper, young yet gifted, is learning fast that instinct alone can't save an empire. Every decision he makes has weight now, not just for him, but for the team, the company, and the legacy Tommy is trying to protect. TL's drilling oversight and Nate's financial management aren't just jobs, they're high-stakes arenas where one misstep can erase millions and where every rival's move is a potential trap. Rebecca, as COO and Chief Counsel, balances strategy and shield, navigating legal and corporate mazes that could dismantle everything in a heartbeat. Ariana, once on the sidelines, now wields subtle power through insight, timing, and knowledge of internal dynamics, proving that influence can shift outcomes without a single word spoken. Even as Tommy tries to steady the team, the outside threats loom closer than ever. Galino's offshore rigs with Newson are not distant whispers, they're constant reminders that Tommy's freedom is borrowed and fragile. Every deal is a battlefield, every agreement a potential weapon against him. The past is alive, breathing down their necks, and patience has a limit. Nate has already spotted the cracks in Galino's trust, a warning that alliances built on convenience can crumble when pressure rises. The lingering legal risks around Cooper's land, Ariana's unresolved trauma, and Cammy's quiet manipulations layer a tension that seems unshakable. Season 3 isn't about quiet victories, it's about survival, when every victory carries the seeds of disaster. As Tommy assigns roles within CTT, giving Cooper, TL, Nate, and Rebecca responsibility, it seems like progress, but each role is a double-edged sword. Cooper's talent for oil could make or break the empire. TL's technical expertise could secure success or magnify disaster. Nate's finances are under constant threat from competitors and spies. Rebecca's legal foresight must anticipate moves before anyone else sees them, and Ariana's growing influence makes the internal power dynamics unpredictable. No one can relax, not for a second, because in Season 3, calm is temporary and danger is everywhere. The stakes extend beyond business. Tommy is no longer just surviving, he is managing people whose loyalty is tested at every turn. Every conversation carries hidden meaning, every strategic decision can be manipulated into failure. Galino watches silently, calculating the exact moment to strike. Cammy, the ghost in the shadows, uses patience and observation as her weapons, gathering allies, planting doubts, and waiting to pull the trigger. Even success becomes dangerous. Every move forward exposes vulnerabilities, and one misstep could erase months, even years of work. Season 3 is a game of chess where every piece has a mind of its own, and Tommy must play perfectly to survive. And then there is Tommy himself. For the first time, he isn't just a player. He's a target, a strategist, and a protector all at once. He must anticipate threats from outside and inside, balancing ambition, loyalty, and instinct, while knowing that anyone, even those he trusts most, could turn against him. The team's victories are tempered by the constant pressure of the unseen hand that could collapse CTT in an instant. Every alliance is fragile. Every choice carries consequences that could unravel months of planning. Season 3 isn't about building an empire. It's about holding it together while the world tries to tear it apart. And the question looms larger than ever. Can Tommy survive when chaos is...
As Season 3 unfolds, Tommy quickly realizes that power alone cannot secure survival. CTT Oil Exploration and Cattle is no longer a simple company. It's a battlefield where every interaction can become a weapon. Galino's influence stretches further than anyone imagined. His offshore deals with Newsom are no longer background maneuvers. They are active threats, always testing boundaries, always calculating the perfect moment to strike. One misstep, one overconfidence, and the empire Tommy worked so hard to build could collapse. Cammy, relentless and strategic, operates in the shadows. She doesn't just confront her enemies, she manipulates them, planting seeds of doubt, watching reactions, and waiting for the right moment to cut. Her patience has turned into a weapon, and every subtle move she makes carries the potential to unravel alliances. Cooper, despite his instinct and talent, now faces pressure unlike anything he has experienced. Each decision carries consequences that affect more than resources. It affects trust, morale, and the very survival of CTT. The natural talent that once seemed like a gift is now a liability if used recklessly. TL's operations, once predictable and controlled, are now under constant threat. Sabotage, unforeseen mechanical failures, and human interference force the team to operate under extreme pressure. Nate, juggling finances, discovers that investors aren't always allies. Some have hidden agendas, and one wrong move could trigger a collapse of confidence that spreads like wildfire through the company. Rebecca, the ever-watchful legal anchor, must anticipate threats before they happen. Every contract, every agreement, every handshake carries hidden dangers that could dismantle CTT in seconds. Ariana, now deeply involved in operations, realizes the power of information and influence. A single insight or timely intervention from her could shift the balance of power entirely. And then there is Tommy himself. For the first time, he isn't just a decision-maker, he is a target. Every choice, every move, every word spoken carries weight. Galino's silent surveillance, Cammy's calculated manipulations, and the constant pressure of competitors create a storm that Tommy must navigate perfectly. Even his most trusted allies are not immune to doubt or fear, and small fractures in loyalty could grow into catastrophic failures. Season 3 is no longer about controlling oil or territory. It's about surviving when every victory could hide a trap and every success carries the potential for ruin. The tension builds relentlessly, with the team forced to anticipate, react, and survive in a world where chaos is the only constant. The first real test comes as Galino's offshore operations inch closer, their power reaching into every pipeline, every deal, and every negotiation. Tommy must act, but any visible move could reveal vulnerabilities to his enemies. Cammy exploits this hesitation, using psychological warfare to unsettle the team and probe for weaknesses. Cooper struggles under the weight of responsibility, balancing instinct and strategy, while TL faces operational sabotage that threatens to derail drilling projects entirely. Nate's finances become a high-wire act where one miscalculation could trigger financial collapse. Rebecca uncovers legal and political threats that, if mishandled, could dismantle everything they've built. Ariana's subtle yet growing influence begins to shift the balance of power, showing that power is not just about authority, it's about timing, insight, and control. As the section closes, it becomes clear, Season 3 is no longer a story of ambition alone. It is a test of survival, loyalty, and cunning.
Every move Tommy and his team make is under scrutiny from rivals and from the shadows of their past decisions. Betrayal could come from anywhere, and the consequences of even small missteps are immediate and devastating. The world of Landman Season 3 is one where chaos is waiting patiently, ready to explode, and only those who anticipate, adapt, and act decisively can hope to survive. The chaos escalates as alliances are tested and strategies collide. Tommy's vision for CTT is ambitious, but ambition alone cannot shield him from the relentless pressures of Season 3. Galino's presence is no longer a distant threat. It is a shadow that touches every decision, every negotiation, every operation. Offshore rigs with Newsom are not just financial interests, they are tools of leverage, reminders that Tommy's freedom is fragile and conditional. Cammy's tactics grow bolder, moving beyond observation to active disruption. She exploits weaknesses, isolates allies, and manipulates perception, turning loyalty into uncertainty. The team must learn quickly that in this season, patience and precision are survival skills, not virtues. Cooper, once driven purely by instinct, now navigates a minefield of moral dilemmas. His natural talent for oil can create wealth or disaster. Each decision is scrutinized by internal and external forces, and failure is no longer an option. TL, Nate, and Rebecca each face escalating pressures in their respective domains. TL's operational leadership is challenged by sabotage, unforeseen failures, and rival interference. Nate manages finances in a landscape where investors may act as enemies, using the tiniest misstep to destabilize the company. Rebecca's legal expertise is tested to the extreme, uncovering threats that could dismantle CTT in moments if mishandled. Ariana's subtle yet growing influence begins to shift the balance of power in ways no one anticipates. Tommy himself is pushed to the edge. No longer just a decision-maker, he must anticipate threats from every angle, manage complex human dynamics, and maintain the illusion of control while chaos grows on all sides. Every alliance is fragile. Every move can be misinterpreted or exploited. Season 3 is a high-stakes game where every victory may conceal the next disaster, and every success carries the weight of hidden consequences. Tensions spike when Cammy escalates her maneuvers. She doesn't just disrupt operations, she targets relationships, isolates key players, and uses psychological tactics to weaken trust. Cooper's choices, TL's oversight, Nate's financial strategy, and Rebecca's legal interventions all face the same challenge. Every move can be a trap, and every outcome could have catastrophic ripple effects. Ariana's growing influence adds complexity, as subtle shifts in knowledge and perception can determine the outcome of high-stakes decisions. By now, it is clear that no one is safe, and the true danger is no longer just external. Betrayal begins to appear within the team. Long-hidden motives surface. Decisions that once seemed safe become threats. Season 3 is a test of trust, and even the closest allies are not beyond suspicion. Every victory is tempered by the knowledge that a single misstep could unravel months of planning, leaving Tommy and his team vulnerable to enemies they never expected. The chaos is no longer looming, it is here, and survival depends on foresight, cunning, and the ability to act decisively under pressure.
The tension is relentless as Season 3 pushes Tommy and his team to the brink. CCT oil exploration and cattle may look stable on the surface, but every success now carries hidden danger. Galino's influence creeps into every decision, every handshake, every pipeline. His offshore operations with Newsom are no longer just threats, they are mechanisms of control, silent forces that can dismantle everything Tommy has built if he miscalculates. Cammy escalates her campaign of psychological warfare, exploiting weakness, manipulating perception, and testing every alliance. She has learned patience, and now she uses it like a weapon, turning subtle observation into calculated chaos. Cooper is no longer just learning the ropes, he is under pressure to lead under fire. His instincts, once a source of strength, now demand precision.
A single mistake could destroy not just his reputation, but the company itself. TL's drilling operations face sabotage at every turn, equipment failures, unexpected interference, and rival companies eager to capitalize on a single lapse make